Squad, welcome back to the channel, Celebrity ScandaLust. Before we get into it all, do your girl a solid and hit that thumbs up button, hit the like button for me. Now let's get into the mess. Okay, you guys, so a few days ago I saw this video on the art of dialogue by Freddie P. Well, it says Freddie P believes Diddy's adopted son Quincy is in love with Diddy and suspects Diddy did something to him. Now, I did a video maybe 8 months ago. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it because sometimes I know that I be thinking out the box. I be a little out there, but I'm like, I feel like there's something to it. Now, we've heard rumors that Diddy kept Al B. Sure away from Quincy. I don't know how true those things are. We don't know how true they are. But given all of the things that we're hearing about Diddy now, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, one of the rumors that has been debunked was the fact that Diddy adopted Quincy. I've done extensive research and I have not found anything stating that Diddy adopted Quincy, and Al B. Sure went on record saying that, you know, Diddy never adopted him. But now I take what Al B. Sure says with a grain of salt. But what I want to do is get into this video on the art of dialogue and listen to what Freddie P has to say, and then I just want to play a couple snippets from the video that I did, you know, a few months ago, well, damn near a year ago, and I'm not going to play a lot of it because that video is like an hour and a half, so you guys can always go back and watch the whole thing. But I just want y'all to just hone into this, the things that we're learning about Diddy and his deep-seated issues. You know, it has not come out in court yet that he is gay or bisexual or anything like that. But I think a lot of people are suspecting that and hoping and praying that it didn't happen, but questioning as to whether or not Diddy could have done something. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this video.
Al B. Sure, he came out, and you know he had organ failure, and he was in a coma, and he actually came out accusing Puffy of being behind that. How you feel about that, and how you feel about his son Quincy still going to the trial supporting Puffy, even after, you know, Al B. Sure came out accusing Puffy of, you know, putting him in a coma?
Like I said, man, like I got inside information that Quincy don't really support Puffy like that, and Quincy really supporting his sisters and his brothers. I heard Quincy, deep down, Quincy might not be saying, I heard Quincy deep down think Puffy did that to his mom. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's correct, but from the people I hear that is cool with somebody that he's very, very close to, that's what it is. It's said as if Quincy just there to support his family. The same thing. And when I seen Misa say it, I was like, oh yeah, well, it's possible. She not there for Puffy. She there to support her son. You know what I'm saying?
And Misa did make a post on Instagram stating that she wasn't, well, she didn't say I'm not there to support Puffy, but she said I'm at the court to support my son.
Do Quincy got kids? Why Quincy don't have no kids? Why he talk so sweet? Why was Puffy like little boys? Why was they so close? Why is he so close like that's his boyfriend instead of his daddy? It's just a lot of weird questions there. You know what I'm saying? A boy, nah, man. He's like he's protecting, more like he protecting his abuser. That's what Quincy give me. Quincy give me somebody that's in love with their abuser.
Sorry, you guys, my dog is acting up, but I'm gonna try to push through this video. A lot of people are saying that it's the same syndrome that Cassie had, kind of like Stockholm syndrome. You know, Diddy is very charismatic and he took care of all of them. He provided a good lifestyle even if he abused them. So it's possible.
No disrespect to him, but because if that's the case, then he was a victim at some point. But yeah, I think Quincy in love with Diddy. Like, I don't know farther shit. I just think he love him. He in love with him. I think, because somebody been giving you sex and she was sucking your dick and all that shit. Like, a woman's been sucking my dick since I was 11, 12 years old and spoiling me.
I said this in the beginning, you guys, trigger warning, because it does talk about potential SA. So trigger warning.
Yeah. Nobody else found out our secrets. I'm gonna love this woman. When she go to jail, I'll cry. Like, I'm not going. She's not my real mom, but I call her mom. Like, even though it's words out here that say she killed my father, killed my mom, still, it's because of love, bro. It's a different type of love. That's sex love. That's sexual love right there.
I disagree with him. I think that falls in line with like Stockholm syndrome. However, I'm not a clinician or a therapist, so I can't confirm it. But I don't know if that's real love.
I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. That's a different type of love. He seem like he hound type. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, he not thinking rational. Like, he not putting his mom first. He not even considering a chance. He not paying no attention, but now he is. But it seemed like he was just in love, like.
And if you sat through this trial and you're listening to how dangerous Diddy was or is or can be, like, I don't even know if, the support, what we see as outward support of Diddy, if he would not be in fear for his life. I mean, as a parent, Diddy has probably groomed him. He's been under Diddy's thumb. And I could see him not necessarily being supportive the way we think, but hell, if you've been under somebody's thumb like that for years and he really did those things that some people suspect, he's trying to save his own life and his sister's.
That's the vibe I was getting from him. Like, yeah, that little boy been abused. That's the only man he know right there. He ain't got no kids, no wife, all this money, talk sweet. You can see the sweetness in him. The boy been touched. And I think that's what his mom was trying to prevent from happening. But Puffy knew, I can get the boy. I just got to get you out of the way. So, if Puffy just say you was addicted to kids, and that's not your son, so you ain't gonna have no problem with abusing somebody that's not your kid.
So to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, you're pretty much saying that you believe that Diddy it, Quincy?
At some point. But that, if it look like a tree, probably a tree, It looked like.
And in a lot of this testimony, what we've heard is that although Diddy had Cassie, it's almost like she was a beard in their freak-offs for him to watch the men, of course, engage with her. But really, was he using her as his proxy? I don't know what the correct term would be, but like he wanted them to do to him what they were literally doing to Cassie. So maybe his preference really is men, young men. I don't know.
Like a dog and it barks. It's probably a dog. I don't know. So I'm just looking at the behavior of people. I'm 43, man. It's like he's not the first Quincy I met. You know what I'm saying? He's not the first Quincy I've seen. It's maybe the seventh Quincy I've seen in 43 years of somebody that got to keep a secret, can't, I know the behavior patterns. The fact that you see how the other son is happy, able to move on after the dad is gone, able to get a girl, get a house. He's untouched. That's really his daddy. He's able to do that because he can devote his heart in one direction. Quincy can never go be happy because the person that got control over him, once a man submit to another man, it's a difference. People are like, it's such thing as bisexual. Such thing as a bisexual man. Once you submit to another man, you are now beta.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. You can go to The Art of Dialogue. Great interview if you want to see the entire video. However, one thing I'm going to say is I disagree with him on the point of once you submit to another man. If we're all on the same page thinking that possibly Diddy did something to Quincy, that would be a child, that maybe he was underage or groomed at a young age. So I wouldn't say that he submit. He was probably groomed and, maybe Puffy took advantage of him. Again, like many people, we hope that that's not what happened. However, I mean, there's just a lot of speculation. So I'm going to go and switch gears and play a little bit of this video that I did. And like I said, this video was done some months ago. It's called Diddy's Inappropriate Behavior with His Sons and His Infatuation with Quincy. When I talked about his inappropriate behavior with his sons, I was talking about the fact that allegedly, you guys, this is all alleged. I mean, none of this is being discussed in court, so we have no way to substantiate it, but it's just things that have been out there in the metaverse. Okay, so you remember there were the rumors that Diddy had dated Lori Harvey, stuff like that, and that, you know, they were at parties together. Now the freak offs, what we're learning is the freak offs are primarily like Diddy, a female, and a male escort. So those are what the freak offs are. They're not the celebrity bashes that we've been hearing about. Now there may have been some, but ultimately what his case is about, is him and it's like threesomes. But we also heard that he had inappropriate possible girlfriend swapping with his son. So that's crazy. But there was an interview that I had found. So let me wait before I play it. Let me mute it. Okay, because I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. Diddy with his sons, like specifically Quincy. So we'll get to that. But as I was coming across it, I ran into some articles, and this was something that I found. And so as you can see, I mean, of course, it's an article. It wasn't a YouTube video, but they're saying Quincy is saying I was too young, and they talk about Quincy describing his life with Diddy. And it says, "This is my question that many fans and critics have been asking after a recent interview with Quincy Brown, the 30-year-old son of the rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Quincy, who is also an actor and singer, opened up about his childhood and how he witnessed some of the most extravagant and notorious parties that his father threw at their homes." Okay. Quincy revealed that he was exposed to a lot of adult situations. Pause. Remember, Usher has been saying the same thing. Well, back in the interview that he did with that, I forget the guy's name, but y'all, everybody has played that interview where he says, "I saw some curious things," and he was a teenager. So if Diddy was allowing young Justin Bieber, Usher to see young, curious things, I'm pretty sure his own children have seen some things too. So remember, this is Quincy. Quincy revealed that he was exposed to a lot of adult situations and behaviors at a very young age, such as drinking. Okay, well, I'm not going to say a lot of families, they have wine. You go to other countries, the kids have wine at 10 and 11. Drugs. Now that's a problem. That to me is definitely a problem because, there's just no reason that young children, as the parent, you're supposed to prevent them being exposed to stuff like that. We know it is going to happen. Of course, you're supposed to talk to them, but you kind of want to keep your kids from, being exposed to drugs around you. You know what I mean? Nudity. Now, that's another weird one. I can't, what do you mean? Has my child seen me around the house, maybe in a flash? But even in your household, you teach your children to, wear robes, appropriate garments. So the way I'm reading this is that he's seen this with other people. I'm feeling like it's not just his family, like people in the family, but he's been exposed to all of these different elements in the vein of, salacious, like not in the right manner. And then he also talks about violence. He said that he often felt scared and confused by what he saw, and that he had to grow up fast and learn how to cope with chaos. Can you imagine that? I mean, this man, this mogul with all this money, and you got a kid saying that they felt scared and confused. And here these people in the hood, we be struggling, working, taking our kids to daycare, trying to make ends meet, living from paycheck to paycheck. We have a little chaos and stuff, but he has to learn how to cope with chaos. I mean, hey, listen, most of us think that money prevents some of this stuff. Money is a safeguard to having to live in chaos, but I guess not. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there and go forward a little bit. So let me skip forward, pause it for a second. Finding and looking and, trying to find pieces that, we've just kind of skimmed over. But look, I knew it was something about Diddy and his obsession, in my opinion, with Quincy. I've always felt like, that's not your son, granted, and you were with Kim since he was a kid, but he was just always fawning over Quincy a little bit too much to me. Always just giving him props because he has his own child by Kim Porter, King Combs, and then allegedly Justin, but his paternity is even being questioned because he don't look like Diddy, in my opinion. The only one that looks like Diddy is King to me. But I always thought that, just the way he would be the hype man for Quincy was a bit much. And then, y'all, I stumbled upon this. Al B. Sure's son, Quincy, speaks on his stepdad kissing him on the lips and says Al was never there. Okay. So when I'm like, oh, well, hell, I wanna see this, right? I copied this Earl right here to go look at the video. You guys, when you go to, because this interview was done with Sway, right? Because you can still see the video. You can still see parts of that interview if you go to Sway's channel. It was done back in, I guess, 2012, 2011, sometime around then. The interview is up, but you won't see this particular, the part where he's talking about Diddy kissing him on the lips. I looked up the video because I saw it referenced in about 3 different places. When you actually copy this, Earl. So I'm gonna pause it right there. Yeah, you can't find that video anymore. And I'm sure a lot of people were saying, what do you mean kissing him in the lips? So that's one thing that I thought was weird. So let's skip forward a little bit. And then I want to show you a couple of videos where he was very inappropriate, in my opinion. Okay, let's play it. You could tell me if I'm wrong, but it just seems very, very weird. Okay.
Just looking at my beautiful son, boy. You's a beautiful black king.
Thank
Jesus,
you,
you just
thank you, Dad.
woo, man.
Appreciate it.
Man,
I'm blessed. Love you. Thank you.
I mean, what you doing, man? You're getting what's going on, man?
Growing up, Pop.
You growing up? You growing up?
Mm-hmm.
What's up? What you doing right now in life? Tell the people what you're doing.
I'm filming a TV series, Star, which comes to your TV screen soon, December 14th for a preview. Then in January we're gonna give y'all the full series. But be excited.
Yeah, they're gonna be going crazy. We're gonna need more security, y'all.
Need more security, believe that.
I gotta get him again. I gotta get him at night. I'm just so proud of you, boy. Come on, let me get you in the light. Hold on. I gotta get you in the light. Look at, man, you done grew. You was just my face. Look at you, man. Look at him. Gears right from head to toe. His swag. That's that Quincy swag. Yeah, the aqua hydrate. Look at, hey man, it's something when your kids can grow up and be their own man. Look at you, man. I ain't got nothing to do with this fly, but you fly than a motherfucker, B. Yeah.
We are on set, and as you can see, we got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, turkey, ham.
So, y'all, it's one thing for parents to boost their kids up and be like, oh baby, you looking beautiful, girl, you're so pretty. And I don't know how dads tell their sons, but that right there, we have to go back to the fact of what Diddy is being accused of. Underage boys and girls. So I'm gonna stop that right there, because at this point, I don't know, the whole thing about the minors is I don't know. That is not coming up in his court case. But the fact that he's been, you know, he talks to Cassie about looking at males and he has to approve who they're doing the freak offs with, the other men, it kind of is a little bit suspicious, you guys. But I'm gonna move on from that one. Let me move on, because I got one more thing to show you, and then yeah, let's see. Allegedly adopted Quincy, and then he adopted this white girl, Ava. Now, I don't know where Ava is. I don't know what's going on with her. I haven't really looked that deep into her situation. But even that video that he did with them, that was creepy. Everybody was always applauding Diddy for being such a great father. But if you go back to what we just recently read about what Quincy was saying, that don't sound like he's been so great. Okay, you guys, I got to get to the video I want to show you. Okay, yeah, I think it's here. And I have found some stuff out about Ava, and that's going to be another video.
For the healthcare people, and we're just so blessed and thankful. And thank y'all for supporting us today. Gang. What's next? What up, y'all? I'm Quincy. I want to say thank y'all for rocking with us.
What you found? Sorry.
Okay. Y'all see that? Now, he didn't do that to Justin. But when Quincy came up, all up in his face, damn near kissing him, you one of the prettiest MFs and da-da-da-da. You don't do that to a grown man. I don't care. Even your son. It's inappropriate, especially now, Diddy, that we know what you like in them freak-offs. We know that you like, you be checking out the men, okay? Anyway, y'all, jump in the comments. I'm just going to leave it there. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next video. And I do have some updates about little missing Ava. All right, bye, y'all.